Hello, my name is Joseph. I'm with First Baptist Church of Madison, Boys Behind the Scenes. And today we're going to be going over the basics of volunteering and how to start impacting the world around you for the better. The first and most important question you have to ask yourself before you decide to go out and do field work is, who do you want to help? Who do I want to help? What cause inspires me to take action the most? Volunteer work can take an almost infinite amount of forms. You have the political activism of people like Martin Luther King Jr. and his March on Washington, or the animal conservation activism of people like Jane Goodall and Steve Irwin, who is behind my head right now. The MSF, which is Doctors Without Borders. They help people in underdeveloped communities with medical assistance, and you can be a volunteer firefighter if you want. You can be a whole lot of things if you decide to volunteer. If you have no idea where to start at all, or even if you have a jumping off point, if you know generally what you want to do, but you don't have a specific organization in mind, a good place to start, in my experience, would be websites like these. The Reddit page is more of a general discussion page on volunteering as a whole, but it can offer you some insight into how it works and for resources to find, volunteering opportunities wherever they might be. But for specific opportunities in your local area or online, I would best point to places like Volunteer Match or Points of Light, or volunteer.gov or Volunteers of America. Volunteers of America and volunteer.gov are very, very well reputable sites for this. So is Points of Light and Volunteer Match, but 125 years strong, you can't go wrong with that. But specifically, I make the most use out of Points of Light because I feel Points of Light has the most opportunities. But to give a basic rundown on how Points of Light works, you type in where you are. I'm in Madison right now, and what you want to do. Let's say I wanted to be a volunteer firefighter right now, And just like that, volunteer firefighter, Madison Fire Department. And I would just have to sign in and do the works. Volunteering positions can get real competitive sometimes. So sometimes there's a need to send in a cover letter to set you apart from everyone else trying to get that role. Volunteering positions can get real if you have relevant experience to the role you're trying to apply for, or you're willing to make a very long-term commitment. Make a cover letter. Make a letter detailing exactly why you're the best candidate, why you're the best possible fit. And in the next part, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Next, we're going to be talking about cover letters and resumes, which aren't as important as you start off, but will slowly get more and more important as you develop more and more skills related to what you want to volunteer with. Same thing applies to jobs. Your resume is less important if you want to work at Stop and Shop versus if you want to work at NASA. But your resume is still important. The same thing goes for volunteer work. When it comes to drafting, you want to make yourself sound as good as possible. But before you get to any of that, you need to find out who needs to see your letter in order for you to get what you want out of it. Which what you want is a position. If you have any, this is also when you would list your related work and volunteer experience. Being knowledgeable about what you're dealing with will always be more valuable to a nonprofit than someone who doesn't know what they're doing. The less time they need to take to train you, the more time you can spend helping people. In their eyes, at least. Keep it professional. The person who you're addressing wants to know that you're about business. Not that you're about making money, but that you're serious in your convictions. You need to be on track here. This isn't school. This is real life. This is serious stuff, If you're not on your A game, no one is going to take you if you seem like you don't care, or if you seem like you're immature, or if you seem this or that or the third. You could be whatever, but if you seem one way to whoever you're addressing, that's it. Perception is everything. And if you're perceived to be the wrong fit, that's it. They'll throw your letter right out. Doesn't matter. You use the wrong language. Okay, you can have all the skills in the world. You can be the most dedicated, determined. Doesn't matter. You called your superior or your possible superior bro. They're not going to take you. Market yourself. You have to advocate for yourself. You're your own best friend here. The only one defending you is you. So if you're not your own best friend in your cover letter, no one else is going to be. You have to make it seem like you're the best thing that ever came into whoever you're emailing's email. Obviously, don't act arrogant, but act like you're going to be exactly what your organization is looking for. Embodying the organization's principles. This is really important because those who often last the longest with these organizations are people who genuinely care and genuinely believe in the work that's being done by these organizations. In your cover letter, you want to get it across that what the nonprofit advocates for is what you advocate for. And you're not simply volunteering just to volunteer. You're volunteering to create change because that's exactly what you're doing. And then finally, the references and the resume. Considered the most optional part of the cover letter when it comes to volunteering. Definitely not when it comes to employment, though. With the references and resume, if you have some big names on your team, and they're willing to help you out, they're willing to put in a good word for you, you can put them down as a reference as long as they tell you it's okay. If they're willing to put their word in to the organization and say, yeah, that's a good kid, they do good, go for it. And with the resume just shows, yeah, I've done all of this stuff in the past, and here's why I'll be good to do it in the future. Basically just to sum up everything in the cover letter without all the flowery language. Okay, so this is a sample cover letter that I found online, and I think it makes very good use of what I covered in the cover letter basics. So it starts off with Barry Applicant, very great name, I might say. And he found out who to contact, which was the volunteer manager at St. John's Senior Center. Great. He listed the address. Wonderful, wonderful. And he starts with a Dear Mr. Lee. Great. Professional, formal, love it. Nothing wrong with it so far. I'm interested in opportunities that may be available to volunteer at the St. John's Senior Center. As a longtime advocate of the needs and welfare of the elderly in our community, I have experience working with senior citizens and would be thrilled to continue to do so in a volunteer capacity. So what he did there, as a longtime advocate of the needs and welfare of the elderly in our community. Right there, he gives you a summary of what he's about to say in the next 3 paragraphs. In that one paragraph, it's only 2 sentences, but right there alone, he mentions his related work and experience with, I have experience working. Okay. Keeping it professional. I like that. He's marketing himself and he's embodying the organization's principles. Specifically, longtime advocate of the needs and welfare of the elderly in our community. Wonderful, wonderful line. I could not have made it better myself. Those are the type of lines that you're looking for in a cover letter like this. That's a showstopper. That grabs attention. Look at it. I'm rambling about it right now. See? So wonderful. This is going great so far. Only a paragraph down, and I have nothing bad to say. I volunteered as an aide at the Champlain Center and enjoyed being able to help senior citizens with arts and crafts. Okay, more related work and volunteer experience? Great. In this position, I assisted program participants with recreational projects, contributed to program planning and strategy sessions, and accompanied group field trips to local musical events and museums. I also participated in fundraising and community outreach initiatives. Wonderful. Not only telling the title and the organization he was working with, but he also said exactly what he was doing there and what skills were necessary. That's what you need. That's what you need. Because you can't just throw out Champlain Center, and just expect people to know what that is. You have to explain the work you do. You can say you're a secretary, but what does a secretary do? You don't know. So, wonderful. Another great paragraph. No complaints. Each paragraph has served a use thus far. If the St. John's Center needs a dedicated volunteer, I would be thrilled to have the opportunity to assist you. My schedule is flexible and I will be available to volunteer at your convenience. Okay, still professional. very cordial mood. I like it. I like it a lot. There's really nothing to complain about. Eager to learn more about your mission, successes, and challenges in serving our senior citizens, I would be grateful for the opportunity to interview with you at a mutually convenient time. I look forward to speaking with you. Yes, that's it right there. That is perfect. That's how you make a conclusion to a cover letter. See, not only was this a perfect embodiment of the organization's principles, but this paragraph sets up for further meetings. It's a branching point. It's a jumping off point. So from there, it gives Mr. Lee an opportunity to respond, and then from there, it keeps going back and forth like a game of tennis. And eventually, you get exactly where you want, which is a position. Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely, Barry Applicant. Signature, Barry Applicant. Wonderful. A wonderful cover letter. 0 complaints. And if he needed any references, which it doesn't seem like he needs any, it's just a senior center. And his resume, it doesn't seem necessary in this case. So I don't have any complaints about this. This is a pretty much perfect cover letter. Thank you, Barry Applicant, for your time. I'm sure this video is rather long at this point, so I'm going to make this pretty quick. I urge everyone watching this to go out and volunteer already if you haven't. And if you have, continue to volunteer. It's fun. And you're doing something great. You really are. Looks good on your resume too. But like, you're doing good. You're doing real good stuff. Everything I've said so far, it'll help you on your journey. And I hope your journey takes you places that I could never imagine. Thank you for watching. And this has been Joey. That's what they call me. And I'm with Boys Behind the Scenes with First Baptist Church of Madison.